And welcome, race fans, to another beautiful Wednesday evening. And that can mean one thing and one thing only. We're here at Over the Limit to watch these boys and the Nerditudes Street Stock Series take to the fast banks of the dirt track at Charlotte. Much like what you've seen yesterday in the Mini Motorsport Doors Pro Late Model Series. Same track, little slower cars. But these cars beat and bang quite a bit, puts on for a hell of a show. But we are here for the running of the Mini Motorsport Doors 35 at the dirt track at Charlotte. It's going to be a damn good show, much like how it was yesterday in the Pro Late Models. And just like yesterday, alongside me, actually not alongside me anymore, actually right below me, is the legend, the myth, the man, Mr. J-Stan, Jeremy Stanley. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing excellent, my guy. This is what people will come to see on Wednesdays. It's the same car. Tuesday was a little curveball for everybody. Wednesday we're here with the normal fast action street stocks. It looks like it's the preferred series for a lot of people to watch. It's a great event each and every week. The dirt track at Charlotte doesn't let down at all. Some people have different opinions, but I think it's a really good show overall. Looking forward to it as usual. Let's get it on, man. We got some new drivers we haven't seen. We haven't seen you guys in a couple weeks if you're only watching on Wednesdays. So we got some new faces in here, some people trying to, show their stuff, show their talents, and it's going to be a hell of a show, man.
Yeah, and it should be. Again, we do have a lot of the series veterans running, but a lot of names that we haven't seen in quite some time. Just naming a few, Jeremy Vaughn, haven't seen him in quite some time. Clifford Bellamy, again, haven't seen him in quite some time. David Tarmashi is out there running as well. So again, names we haven't seen in a number of weeks. Granted, last couple of weeks we have been off, but we're bringing everything back to you again from here to the end of the season. Got things rolling. Should be a fun race. Now, the good thing is with these, Jeremy, is these cars, they can beat and bang. It takes a little bit more to loop these bad boys. And you really don't see these cars flip near as much as what you do, say, the big block modifieds or the Pro Late Models, as we've seen a couple of them go on their lid last night in the Get a Grip Nationals presented by Martin Sports.
Yeah, a couple of cars had too much grip, right? They spun out, then they rolled over, so the tires definitely had the traction. But needless to say, these cars, you can definitely slide it in deep. They are heavy, but they're slower, so it's more controlled. So you have options as far as throwing that car as deep as you can, making the quarter entry what you want it to be, and with it being an open setup tonight, this track is definitely multi-groove. The later the thing goes, you're going to see a lot of cars, maybe single file, maybe exploring two lanes. But as that run goes, that bottom gets deeper and deeper, and that top gets higher and higher, and that's where the action really takes off. So if you see, some steadiness between the field and all the drivers tonight in the first half, don't worry, they'll put on the performance for you later on.
Yeah. Now, you had mentioned that this is an open setup, which differs greatly from last night's festivities, if you want to call that. Well, there was at least fireworks at the end of the race last night. But last night's race was a fixed setup. All the drivers ran default stage setup. Tonight, these are all custom setups. So what that means for everybody watching out there is these drivers can set these cars up and gear these cars for where they want to run, where they think the line and the fast groove is going to be at the end of the race. If they feel like it's going to be on that low line, then they can gear it and set it up for that. So you will see cars being equally fast, if not faster, on different lanes throughout tonight's event, much like what we have seen last season and all the way up to this point this season in this series. So it should be good racing overall. Hopefully, it's looking like it's going to be a strong field, Jeremy. I think we're looking at 15, possibly 16, looking to take time and grid. So a solid field tonight, at least probably going to be about 2 heat races. Depending on how iRacing breaks it down, could be 3. But overall, it should be some kick-ass action tonight coming out of these street stocks.
Yeah, I'm looking at the times right now. They're currently on the track doing their qualifying laps. And last week's winner, though, we did not broadcast last week, but Dustin Hannigan, who was involved in that late race mix-up there with Brady, he won last week at Bristol in the Dirt Street Stock Open Sets with the Nerd TV cars. So, and he's right now on the top of the charts yet again. This kid, once he joined a few weeks ago, Dustin, he's been on a rail. He's been killing it. He's been doing excellent. 14 years old and just showing these veterans what's up. With the early skill set. Got some things to tweak here and there, but that comes with experience. But he's still on top of the board right now, about a half a tenth or so off of Dylan Simmons there in second place currently, and it's gonna be. It's going to be cool to see him go for a repeat, being so young and being so competitive early on since he's joined OTL.
Yeah, and he has been on a rail. I mean, the kid definitely has skills, but there's a lot of fast drivers out there. But he has been on a rail. Still waiting to get confirmation on whether or not there is an active bounty out for the young man, Mr. Dustin Hennigan, whether it's this series or if it was a different series. From league admins, and we'll talk about that a little later on exactly what the bounty system is once we confirm if it is in action tonight. But nonetheless, he's on a rail, was lined up for a win last night. Some last lap fireworks kind of went off, and it bled over into the cool down lap, and it was crazy. But the kid had a rocket ship last night too. And as it sits right now, he's looking like he's going to pick up right where he left off last week and last night, but hoping for a better finish than last night. But only time will tell, because he's got about 14 other drivers out there chomping at the bit, and there's a lot of fast drivers out there, Jeremy.
He's been lurking top 3, top 4 ever since he joined a few weeks ago. So, but it's also cool looking at the times here as well. Is looks like qualifying, everyone has laid down their times, to my knowledge, anyways. Just still sitting on the top of the board, and we got Dylan Simmons in second. We don't see him too much up there in the top 5, especially in qualifying. He's showing some speed. And we got Jeremy Vaughn, like you mentioned earlier. He's making a return here. He's sitting right now in 6th. That's not too bad off. Only being just under 2/10 under. So, in qualifying 2/10 at a dirt track really is not much of a difference. So, with all the variables and how the track changes, and so 2/10 is really not much. So, you can expect him to be up there. It just looks like tonight's going to be one of those races that you want to be here for to watch, because I guarantee it's going to be some excitement, just like you saw last night in the Pro Late Models.
Yeah, and we would expect nothing less out of the drivers here at Over the Limit, or as you called it, OTL. But it should be good all around. Now, again, we want to thank everybody for joining in. Thank you guys for sticking with us for our 2 weeks hiatus while we got stuff on the backside kind of figured out. But as always, we are monitoring the chat channels. I will apologize last night if you guys are picking it up from last night. I was actually on the wrong chat channel. I was only monitoring Twitch. That's my bad. Hey, nerds make mistakes too. But we are on the multi-stream now, so we have all chat channels. So be sure you shout out. Keep it good. Try to keep that drama down a little bit. If it looks like it's going to get too crazy, Nerd TV and Nerditudes is not going to fuel any drama on that there. But if you want your name shouted out on that, we love the interaction. We love shouting you guys out, bringing you guys into the action. So again, always be sure that you do that. And I did get confirmation, Jeremy, that tonight is an active bounty. We were talking about that young man, Dustin Hennigan. He does have an active bounty tonight. There is a bounty on his head. If a driver can beat him and win the race over Hennigan, they will be awarded either monetary money or iRacing credits by Full Send Gaming, the official sponsor of the bounty system. So again, there's going to be a lot of guys that are trying to drive and get that number one spot, Jeremy, to try to claim that bounty tonight.
I think it's a $15 pursuit that these guys are going to be going for now too, and quite fitting. The guy's like we just mentioned a few minutes ago, he's been doing really good, and so yeah, early bounty for Mr. Dustin Hennigan. That's quite a surprise. I mean, it's not a surprise to where like I didn't expect it eventually, right? But to be him only being here for a few weeks and getting that so early, that shows you how well he's doing, right?
Yeah, absolutely, it does. I do believe that the bounty system. I mean, if you guys want to put it in retrospect on the vastness of skill levels that these drivers have, last season there was only one bounty that was actually issued out and claimed all season long, because there were so many different winners and everything was kind of spaced out. So again, to be this early in the season and him so young in the series itself and already have a bounty, that says something. But he's going to have a lot of fast guys out there really trying to rip it and take that bounty and claim that. So it's going to be good. Talking about Full Send Gaming, that's one of the sponsors. So Jeremy, that's a perfect segue to go in. We wouldn't be here, nor would Over the Limit be here, partners and supporters for Over the Limit and Nerditudes and Nerd TV. First and foremost, Martin Sports. That is the official apparel provider for Nerditudes and Nerd TV. There will be official apparel on the release here in the very near future. That is currently in pre-production right now as we are trying to lock down our designs with Martin Sports. But again, rock solid company. They have an excellent staff, some of the best staff you guys will ever be able to work with, and they make some badass products as well. Just flat out badass products and high quality. You're not going to get any better. They dump a lot of money, time, and resources into R&D to make sure they bring you guys the best product, and they have some of the best sim racing products as well. We're talking gloves. These are spoken as being some of the best, if not the best, sim racing glove on the market to date. They also do sim racing shorts. So I do believe they say that that doesn't pinch the no zone, doesn't ride up in there, but it also kind of separates the boys out a little bit. Very breathable, much like their gloves. So, I mean, they offer a plethora of things to go along. So again, check out their apparel line. Check out what they have to offer. That's martinsports906.com. And Mini Motorsport Doors. Again, novelty door panels, much like the door panels you would see on the Pro Late models that you've seen last night, or the Dirt Street Stocks that you see tonight. That come in two sizes, 11 inches and 21 inches at $15 and $30 a piece. You can have them customized any way that you would like. Sim racing designs on there. You can have real racing designs on there. You can put your mama's picture on there and her birth year if you want. It doesn't matter. Either way, high quality, solid aluminum novelty door panels. You're not going to find a product like that anywhere else. So again, that is Mini Motorsport Doors. You can find them on Facebook to get more information at facebook.com/Mini Motorsport Doors.
And we also got Full Send Gaming. Dustin already touched up on it, but that is the official sponsor of the bounty system here at Over the Limit. Dustin Hennigan currently has one on him, guys, so be aware of that. Make sure you watch Dustin to see if he can go back-to-back and hold off the field as they try to claim that $15, which I do believe that's going to be awarded to the winner. That can knock off Dustin off that top position on the racetrack. So yeah, Full Send Gaming, they do a lot of streaming stuff as well. They're nerds just like us, and you're going to check them out here. They're a good partner to have. They're a good group of people as well. Full Send Gaming, check them out on Facebook. And then our last sponsor tonight would be Butt Kicker. I know, Dustin, you've had some extensive reviews done with that product. I've seen it in action too. It's basically like a D-box that you put on the bottom of your computer chair, so to speak, attaches to the wall, provides some excellent feel, some motion, some vibrations that's unlike anything else. It really enhances gaming experience overall. And right now, I think it's like $200, and then we have a 25% off code, Nerd TV at checkout. Okay, so it brings it down to about $150, $160, somewhere in that after tax. So definitely go check them out. Great product to have.
Yeah, and that's actually at 20% on there. So
Cool.
don't want people to think they're going to
Extra
get more
money.
Yeah. So, but again, yeah, it's we want to thank all the sponsors that are there, and there's more sponsors. We are working on getting all them up. Sponsors such as Hideaway Motorsports, G2A, Kingwin, Rogue Energy. There's a number of them that we're working on getting up there as well. So again, we appreciate all the support, and not just the sponsors, all the support from you fine folks out there that are watching it as well. We appreciate everything that you guys do, all the subscribes, all the follows, all the likes, all the comments, all the feedback you guys can give us. It's an amazing, amazing thing, and we appreciate it. And again, chats are open, so feel free to shout it out. But as you can see, they are starting to grid right now, Jeremy. That is our cue to get these mugs off this screen and go down trackside to watch the action. And while we go down trackside, that is a perfect opportunity for Jeremy to run us through our heat race number 1 starting grid.
Dustin Hannigan with the top spot, of course, as we mentioned about the qualifying times here. Whaley will be in second place alongside his outside there. Justin Simmons will be in third. Jason Gunnels in fourth. Dane Lloyd fifth. Kenny Haight in sixth. Seventh place, David Lester. And then eighth place to round out heat race number 1 will be David Tormasci.
Yeah, so it should be an excellent race tonight with the heats that we do have. It looks like we're going to be running 2 heats as there is 8 drivers in heat race number 1. So iRacing actually been splitting it down pretty well. A lot of fast drivers out there, Jeremy. Like I said, you got Hennigan out there. I know Jackie Whaley has really been going at it. You have the 0J or the OJ. That's Jason the Juice Gunnels, not to be mixed up with OJ Simpson. We don't like that type of publicity. We're talking about the juice itself, orange juice. I know he's been chomping at the bit as well to try to get him in the podium or up to that victory. So overall, I mean, it should be a great night. And the heat races are going to be an excellent time to take a look and see exactly what these drivers have to offer. Now, remember, these drivers are running an open setup, so these heat races are a last-ditch effort for them to try to see what changes they may need to make before they go as the pace truck is in. Drivers are 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 as they come off turn 4. Green flag does fly. We are underway for heat race number 1 in the Mini Motorsport Doors 35. You got the 16 of Hennigan taking an early lead. Little bit of contact from Jackie Whaley as they're looking to try to push it 3 wide there. Again, the 720 up on that top side, Jeremy, and they're going 3 wide, 2 to 3 wide here.
Yeah, this is more like the race of to see if they can knock off Dennis and Hennigan for that $15. As you see, Whaley take it in deep down low and makes a good crossover, but then Dustin with that excellent run on the top side of turn number 2 regains that spot, and just like last night, Dustin, we're seeing a lot of crossovering already.
Yeah, so that slider line is really getting used up as you see the 720 of Whaley going down. He's going to try to do it. I don't think he's going to be able to slide up. He's going to have to cut that off, but they come off side by side. But that run that Hennigan gets on that top side is amazing. But further back, we got a gaggle of cars going back there behind Justin Simmons as they're going 2 by 2 back there for about 7th and 8th.
Yeah, Gunnels are on that very top side of the track, currently in 5th, and they're almost looking 3 wide there for a moment, which actually they are 3 wide back there for 5th, 6th, and 7th. So they're trying to get all they can and get back up there and try to improve their starting position in the main race tonight in the Mini Motorsport Doors 35. But yeah, some good side-by-side racing actually already. I expected it to be a single groove race, but they're proving me wrong, Dustin.
Yeah, you see these drivers testing a lot of it. You see Hennigan has been running the top side, the midline. Yeah, obviously, we see Whaley taking that low line, trying to get that slider line working, judging those distances there. So, again, drivers really testing everything as they're going out. But as much as they are switching lines, Jeremy, the contact has been minimal, and these guys are racing hard and heavy.
Yeah, might as well get your practice in when you can, right? So it doesn't really cost you too much. So yeah, especially when you open sets, you gotta push your setup to the limit to see what you got there. We got about a lap and a half left, and heat race number 1 here. Dustin has put a little bit of a gap over Jackie Whaley, and then Justin Simmons with huge pressure. Dustin.
Yeah, as Hennigan will take the white flag with Whaley in tow. A lot of space in between Whaley and in second place, and the 033 is Simmons in third as he goes 2 wide. Looks like Kenny Haight is trying to increase his position. Up front, it looks like it's going to be a good exit off there. The 16 ahead again will take heat race number 1, followed by Whaley. And finishing off in podium is going to be Justin Simmons, just barely beating out the 46 of Kenny 8.
Pretty solid race overall. For that heat race number 1, people know what they need to do now. They see a couple cars out there that are running much faster than them, so they got some work to do. That's what you get the benefit of having that, right? So you know what your car felt like during semi-race conditions, and they have a few laps now to tweak their setup before the main race, so they get that little advantage there.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they're going to be doing. Is now you see heat race number 2, our final heat race, is going to have 7 drivers in it. These drivers are going to be duking it out for that outside starting row for the A main. On the pole for the heat race number 2 is going to be the 133 of Dylan Simmons. His dancing partner to the outside is going to be the 15 of Swede Melgard. Jeremy Vaughn in that number 8 will be inside second row with Wade Burris in the 98 outside as his dancing partner tonight. Cody Heathcock will be on the inside of the third row. Right now, Clifford Bellamy is scored to be starting in 6th. On the outside, might be making some last-second setup changes as we're waiting to grid. And 7th place is going to be the 22 of Austin Yates. It does not look like Clifford Bellamy made the grid, so that is going to move Austin Yates up to your 6th place starting position, Jeremy.
Clifford actually made practice and qualifying time, so I feel like his car just needs... he might just want to start in the back. He might be just doing some extra work on the car. Who knows at this point, but we'll get that confirmation for you all and as we get to the main race here in just about 8 laps. But yeah, we have the heat race number 2, got a lap away from getting that going. We've seen Swede have some excellent speed, no matter where we go, being on the top side there. I think that's almost the preferred groove with how the track's kind of been used up a little bit, but we'll see what David's got. He's coming on strong here recently as well.
Yeah, he really has. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going on. But we've seen a lot of these drivers actually take the track last night in the Pro Late Model Series put on by Mini Motorsport Doors. So it's going to be interesting to see how it transfers over. Pace truck is in. They are 2x2x2 coming off of turn 4. Green flag is in the hand. Green flag does fly. We are underway for heat race number 2. Excellent start by the 15 of Melgard on that top side. The 33 on that inside, 133 rather, Dylan Simmons is holding strong as they are 2x2 going off into turn 3, Jeremy.
Dylan Simmons had a little bit of a lag start, which allowed your number 015 of Swede Melgard to get an excellent start with him alongside, and he was able to take advantage of that on the top side there, and he is still positioned in first place. We see Dylan drop back into second place comfortably. Then we got side by side for third and fourth.
Yeah, third and fourth right now being Vaughn and Burris side by side duking it out. The 194 Heathcock trying to make a look on the inside there to push it 3 wide, but these drivers here are really hammering it out. Right now, Swede Melgard is stretching it out about 2 car length lead over the 133 of Dylan Simmons, Jeremy.
Yeah, they're still running side by side here. Excellent battle for third place going on. Wade Burris looks like he's going to clear the number 8 of Jeremy Vaughn that time, and he does so, and everybody else is single file until you get back to last place, which it looked like they were going to do a double file, but Cody Heathcock trying to run that real bottom line there. It just didn't look like there's enough grip, and Yates is taking advantage of it.
Yeah, no, it's back up front. It looks like the 133 of Simmons is trying to put some moves on Melgard as he has tracked him down to about a car length or half a car length. But Simmons getting a lot of pressure right now from the 98 of Wade Burris as Wade Burris was trying that slider line, didn't pan out. But man, does he close in those corners as those top 3 are really starting to duke it out. Yeah,
the first and second place cars have kind of taken off. Third place, Wade Burris is kind of actually gaining on to the top 2 leaders here. And then, Jeremy Vaughn and Austin Yates putting on a good show. Cody's kind of falling back a little bit at this point. Lap and a half left. Oh, we got some contact there by Austin Yates into the back bumper of Jeremy Vaughn. Jeremy does a 360, keeps it going. No cautions in your heat races. So it's going to just remain green flag all the way. We got a lap and a half, Dustin.
Yeah, lap and a half away. And right now, Melgard has got a mirror full of that 133 of Dylan Simmons. Simmons running about a lane lower than Melgard right now as we get the white flag. These two drivers are duking it out. I don't know if he's going to be able to close it up on him, Jeremy. It looks like Melgard really pulls away coming off those corners. He's going to give it one last try as they come through turns 3 and 4 to the start-finish line. Swede Melgard will take your heat race number 2 victory, followed by Dylan Simmons and Wade Burris in 3rd.
Yep. Austin Yates 4th, Cody Heathcock 5th, and Jeremy Vaughn followed back to 6th with that spin out. So that'll round out heat race number 2. That is the final heat race for this evening. They're going to have a 5-minute warm-up, and then we will get you guys 35 laps at the dirt track at Charlotte.
Yeah, now they are going to do a warm-up, folks. This is the last chance effort that they have to try to get any final adjustments to their cars where they feel like the track is going to go. But we are going to take this time to do some final last-minute adjustments as well. And we're going to take a short commercial break while these cars warm up. We will be back with you, just as Jeremy said, to bring you 35 green flag laps of racing action for the Mini Motorsport Doors 35. And welcome back, as you got to see some of our beloved sponsors and some of the products and fine products and services they have to offer, as well as side by side. Got to watch some of these drivers still duke it out. Believe it or not, this is warm up, but that warm up is coming to an end. We got about 10 seconds left, at which time it will be grid time for the Mini Motorsport Doors 35 A main event. Jeremy, going to be one hell of a show by the looks of it.
Yeah, looking over the times here in warm-up, and Dustin still sitting cleanly on top here, so they got a lot of work to do if they want to go for that bounty that Full Send Gaming has put out over them. As you see, warm-up finally over with. We are ready for the 35-lap main event here, Dustin. If you want to pull up that running order there, I'll go ahead and go through it for you guys. Dustin Hennigan, like I said, starting in first place. You got Swede Milgaard in second. They got Jackie Whaley in third. Dylan Simmons and Justin Simmons fourth and fifth. You got sixth place Wade Burris. Seventh, Kenny Haight. Austin Yates is eighth, sorry. Jason Gunnels, as you're calling him, OJ. He's in ninth. Got Cody Heathcock 10th. Dane Lloyd in 11th. Jeremy Vaughn 12th. David Lester sitting back in 13th place. Clifford, if he does join the track, will be 14th, and David Tormasci will be 15th. Waiting on track confirmation on Clifford. Everybody else looks like has gridded. Waiting on one car here.
Yeah, so it should be an excellent race. Like I said, 15 drivers taking the field tonight as long as everybody does grid. We are still waiting on a couple drivers, Heathcock, Lester, and Bellamy, which is, oddly enough, it does not look like Heathcock actually gridded on that one. So that shuffles up the starting order from about 9th place on back a little bit. So we went from 15 cars to 12 cars as it sits right now. But either way, Jeremy, it should be an excellent show. And you know as well as I do, there is going to be a number of these fast drivers that are going to be gunning for that number 16 to try to to try to claim that Full Send Gaming bounty on that young man.
Blank is a new word in my dictionary. We got to come up with a definition now. But yeah, I got visual confirmation that David Lester and Cody Heathcock both have backed out of tonight's event. So that's why they did not join the track, because they are not here. And then Clifford, he's still with us. I think he's just spectating. I'm not too sure, but he did pull out a qualifying time, so maybe there's something wrong with the car. Who knows? Maybe we'll see him join on the track a little bit later. But nonetheless, Dustin, about to go green flag. Take it through, man.
Yeah, so again, the pace truck is in. These cars are 2x2 all the way back. Coming off a turn 4, the 16 of Dustin Hennigan is going to lead him. Green flag does fly. Excellent start by the 16 and the 15 on that top line. 2x2. Looks like Whaley is going to try to push it 3 wide for that lead spot. They are 3 wide, 2 deep, Jeremy.
First made slight contact with the back of the 7 there. 720 rather, of Jackie Whaley, but he kept it going straight. As you can see, they're 3 wide behind him. Actually, they just kind of sorted out and went 2 wide there. Pretty intense racing all the way through, Dustin.
Yeah, the 15 of Swede Melgaard right now taking that top spot on that high side, but he does have a lot of pressure from the 133 of Dylan Simmons on that low side. You got the 16 of Hennigan is up there, 3 wide again between Hennigan, Whaley, and Burris. Little contact there as they were going in, but again, that's why these cars are so badass, Jeremy.
This is why they come to watch these things each and every week, man. These things beating and banging just like tanks, and they're still driving straight. Gives you guys a lot of fun there. Wade Burris, huge slide up into the side of the 16 of Dustin Hennigan, and it gets into the side of Simmons there, and spin out now, finally. I think that was the 9 car. Yeah, 9 car Dane Lloyd around in the entrance turn number 1. First caution of the evening.
Yeah, so that caution there is going to be just a chain reaction by the look of it, of all the action that you had seen on the track that was going on. Initially started further up, and cars started checking up a little bit, seeing what was going on with that. And unfortunately, Dane Lloyd could not get it checked up in time for what was going on, and ended up making a little contact with what looked like Vaughn after Yates kind of got going. Clipped Kenny Haight's nose there a little bit as well and kind of went around. So, again, that's just how, I mean, as close as these drivers were, Jeremy. I mean, it was a chain reaction because of racing. They were 3 wide and sometimes, possibly looking 4 wide there from about 4th place on back.
Yeah, it was one of those deals where Wade Burris made an aggressive move. He did not realize, though, that Dylan Simmons and Dustin Hennigan were side by side. And then Dylan didn't realize that Wade made that move. So Dylan ran that exit of the corner like it was too wide. Didn't leave much room for Wade Burris to make that slide, but Wade had such amount of huge speed on the exit of 4 there. He had nowhere to send it but up into the door of the 16. And 16 just became a little bit of a sandwich there for Dylan and Wade. And just at that point, just a huge racing incident. And, they kept going straight, but then you got an innocent victim there of Dane Lloyd in the 9 who, just completely by accident just spins out because of something that was caused there. But nonetheless, they're back straightened up, and they're about to go back to green flag here on lap number 4.
Yeah, so again, you see the 15 of Melgard out front for that Delaware restart that OTL uses quite a bit. Huge jump on that restart there. Stacks a lot of the people up. Green flag is out on that restart. The 15 of Melgard definitely took off right there at the exit of 3, I think even before the apex, Jeremy, and got a huge lead, looking at about a 6 car length lead right now over the 98 of Burris. Looks like Burris is leading in that second. A little bit of contact now, side by side between Hennigan and the 133 of Simmons. A little bit of a slider, attempted crossover, but it does look like Hennigan will maintain that 3rd position, Jeremy.
Yeah, and I went back and I watched Wade Melgard's restart there, and the 3rd place car, they just kind of lagged back pretty far. I thought maybe Swede had jumped the start there, but watching this telemetry now, everybody else just kind of fell back and allowed Swede to get a really good, excellent restart. Even he would have cleared him out regardless, but they gave him like 4 car lengths there. So again, some excellent track position. We see Wade Burris completely sole position of 2nd place here, and Dustin Hennigan with that full send gaming bounty. He is currently inferred with pressure with Dylan on the bottom.
Yeah, so again, that's why we always go back and look at the replays, because we see it just as you guys see it in real time, and sometimes you don't catch everything that I does not catch it. But back to the race in action again. Swede Melgard out front. You got the 98 of Burris is trying to track him down, but making ground up on that 98 is that 16 of Hennigan now, and also bringing the 133 of Simmons in tow. Right on that back bumper is Hennigan on Wade Burris. There is not much room there as we're on board with Hennigan right now, as you're going to see him try to work that line to get around. Not much room in between him and that wall there, Jeremy, but excellent racing so far for these top 3 positions.
I thought he was going to hold that position there. He squeezed that gap just perfectly, made it work, but then Wade had a good entrance into 3, and we see Dustin with a huge slide job there, enough to just cut the bumper off of Burris. Wasn't the cleanest, but it got the job done. He takes 2nd spot, and he's going to try to go ahead and go for Mr. Swede there to get a back-to-back victory in 1st place.
Yeah, so again, that is that slider line we're talking about. You see the 98 of Burris is going to try it as well, but is going to have to back out as he almost cuts off the nose of Simmons coming back up there. But that is the chance you take on that slider line. But as these guys are duking it out side by side, the 720 of Jackie Whaley is working his way into that picture as well. But all of this racing here is just allowing the 15 of Melgard to stretch his lead out even further, Jeremy.
He's moved down to the very bottom of the track there, right up against that grass line, not so much in 3 and 4, but I think Hennigan's got a really good set of speed there coming off the exit of turn number 4, and he's actually gained a little bit there on Swede. Swede's got a really good 1 and 2, though, which kind of makes up for that ground difference there. As he goes back to the bottom, he just can't get to the bottom like he can in 1 and 2, right as you see there in 3 and 4. He's about a lane up. And that time, he couldn't get down there and allow Dustin to actually kind of mimic his line a little bit. He went a little lower himself. Swede went back up to the top to go for him, searching for grit.
Yeah, and you're going to see these drivers go all over the place searching for that grip there. Is right now we are on the deck lid of Melgard, looking back at that entire pack. You see they are lined up right now, which is not uncommon for this track. As the track does wear out, it does become a little bit more of a single groove track. The 16 of Hennigan looking on the inside right now. Does that slider line. He's going to slide up. Melgard's going to attempt the crossover. Back on the inside is the 15. on the inside of the 16 to Hennigan, Jeremy.
And again, such a stout car, man. Like, I'm watching his exit, and that car is not even moving. His hands are moving a lot less than some of these other drivers if you watch the cockpit there. But Dustin's got a solid car. He runs to the bottom there. Swede's going to do another crossover here. He does not want to relinquish that lead. Completely side-by-side there at the start-finish line.
Yeah, so these two are duking it out hardcore. Neither one of them wants to relinquish the lead. The 16 of Hennigan wants to continue his winning ways. The 15 of Melgard wants to capture that Full Send Gaming bounty. But as these two drivers are racing, the 133 of Dylan Simmons is working his way into the picture, Jeremy, as he's working that high side, following in the trails of the 16 of Hennigan right now. The top three are spacing it out further back right now. Battle for fourth. On back is going to be Jackie Whaley holding down that fourth position, but getting a lot of pressure right now from the 98 of Burris and the 8 of Vaughn.
Yeah, going to Dylan there in third place. They guys race side by side for the lead, and then has allowed Dylan Simmons to suck him in, man. We got about 15 laps at the line this time by. Dylan's going to look to the inside here and try to get the spot, but Swede with an excellent run off the exit of turn number 4, able to maintain second.
Yeah, you see these drivers now hooking it up on that high side right now, which is where Hennigan has been running. So it does appear that his car is geared and set up for that a little bit more. But Melgard not giving up, going on that inside lane through 3 and 4. Again, just doesn't seem like it's got the bite, but he also has the 133 of Simmons nipping at his back bumper the whole time. So he is not only trying to play offense, but he's also trying to play a little defense, Jeremy.
As we all know, that is really tough to do, especially at a dirt track when you got no spotter, no crew telling you what to do. It's just you, yourself, and trying to do all the work you see. But Dylan actually had a little bit of hiccup there in turn number 3, but got an excellent run off turn number 4 to kind of make up for it. We see Dylan go deep into the corner, try to make something of it. He realizes he's not going to be able to clear. Checks up. Swede Melgard going to run top there and clear him into turn number 1.
Yeah, it's Dylan Simmons getting way, way low there, almost flirting with disaster a little bit with those quote-unquote tires that we all know are not tires on that inside, but just cannot get the pass completed. But these three are just walking away right now. You go a little further back, right there's that 720 of Whaley, who's putting a little distance between him and 5th place of Wade Burris. Again, Vaughn right now is... running in that 6th position as we are under our second caution of the night, Jeremy.
Second caution indeed. Jason Gunnels there on lap number 24. Entering turn number 3. Just kind of had a really awkward line entering the corner. And I don't know if Kenny didn't expect him to slide up a little bit more or check up, but Kenny got in the back of Jason during the mid-slide in the middle of 3 and 4, and it just sent Jason around. No real damage, just kind of a little spin out there, only lost a couple spots. So he should be able to maintain back up normal pace without an issue. Just, yeah, there was no damage there. Just light little love tap, just barely sent him around.
Yeah, so no love lost there between two teammates. Both Gunnels and Haight are on the same team, and as you can see, there's just the slightest of taps, but enough to send him around. But because there was traffic oncoming, iRacing did feel the need to throw that yellow flag that brought out our second caution of the evening.
And they are 1 lap away from that 10 laps to go point. So a little bit of a break there for Dustin as the second and third have to restart side by side. If it were 1 lap later, it would have been all single file. Let's see if Dylan and Swede can close the gap here a little bit. Just because that last restart that we saw, Swede had an excellent little cushion there to make the start happen for him and jump out to a really good 4 to 5 car lengths. So yeah, I expect them to suck it up here. We got about 11 to go. We see the pace truck dip down. Tag him through.
Yeah, so pace truck does dip down. There's that Delaware restart that Jeremy was talking about. They are coming out of turn 4. You do see them hit on. It is on the start. There's a green flag is officially out, and they are off into turn 1. It was an excellent start by the 16 of Hennigan. Simmons looking like he's going to try to capitalize on that as well by doing the slider job, pulling right up in front of Melgard. A little bit of a love tap there from Melgard down that stretch to get it going. 3 wide right now for second place. Barely squeezed it out, Jeremy. This race is getting hard and heavy.
Heavy in the back as well. We just saw David Tormasci just clear the cones out in the front stretch, but we had Tormasci, Kenny Haight, and looked like Dane Lloyd there in the 9. They had a little bit of contact. Tormasci barely missed that brick wall, a.k.a. the white tires there at the bottom. Able to keep it straight, no caution out. So they're definitely lagged behind. But yeah, going back up to your race leaders here. Hennigan finally has pressure on Dylan, or from Dylan solely right now with about 8 laps to go. Dylan's showing some late speed here. Let's see if he's got anything to take that bounty.
Yeah, he's going to have to really bring it on hard, and he's going to have to really get that slider line in check and ready to roll because he is closing up on the front bumper, or back bumper rather, of the 16. But again, they have been running almost identical lines. It's going to be difficult once it gets up to that. But right now it's looking like these two here are going to be duking it out. Melgar looks like he has lost speed in the late running here. But, Jeremy, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting show nonetheless. As you can see, these leaders are really starting to set the pace right now.
Dylan searching a little bit there. You typically see him on the high side in 3 and 4. He went down to the midline and tried to put a little bit of gap on him and Dylan. Dylan is at his bumper, makes a little bit of contact there just to say, hey, I am here. Get ready for a fight. We got 4 laps to go at the finish line. I wouldn't count Sweet out if they start tangoing up a little bit more there.
Yeah, now you do see the 16 of Hennigan moving down to that low line. Looks like Hennigan's car is very, very tight on that high side, but he knows that's where that speed is at, and he knows he's going to have to play defense up there. That's why you see him up there in 1 and 2, because you see how much space Simmons gains on him coming out of that corner. So it's going to be interesting. He's going to have to make his move. It's going to be now or never, as we only have 3 laps to go, working lap 32 of this 35-lap event.
Yeah, I got him on lap 33 here. Dylan's actually falling back about a car length or so over Dustin, but gets great amount of distance back up and back to his bumper actually here on turn number 2 with a good chance. Tags his bumper, just a light little love tap there. Entering turn 3, lap number 44, they're both at the bottom digging for it all, Dustin.
Yeah, nose to tail. He had Simmons had probably the best run that he had coming off the last set of corners. Again, a little bit of contact there. That might be enough. Open it up as you see the nose going on the inside. Simmons putting his nose on the inside as they go off into the corner here. Is Simmons going to be able to make it stick? We don't know. Coming off the corner down to the start-finish line. Looks like it's woohoo!
Scoreboard has Dustin Hennigan as your winner by 3/100ths of a second.
That was a finish nonetheless, and it was not due to lack of effort from the 133 of Dylan Simmons. I tell you what, that guy put on a hell of a run to try to knock off that bounty late in the late stages of the race. Almost had it too, Jeremy. So again, a hell of a run. With all the drivers there, that's still probably one of the closest finishes we have seen in the Nerditudes Street Stock Series here at Over the Limit.
Yeah, closest to my knowledge there. Going back and looking at that start flag podium there, 3/100ths of a second is equivalent to Dylan Simmons' tip of his nose at the center front wheel of Dustin Hennigan. So maybe like a 1/6 of the car distance, just narrow, just a nose piece. That's all it was difference there. After 35 laps, you get that close of a finish. I knew it was going to be an excellent race, and right there, Dustin, that proved it, man. That was something there.
Yeah, it was. That was an excellent bit of racing put on by these guys, and not that many cautions, Jeremy. We only had 2 cautions the entire night. And as much beating and banging as what we had, these drivers were up on the wheel. It was a heck of a run that they had, and almost seen our first claim bounty of the season tonight. But all that does is extend that bounty till next week, Jeremy, where we have a new track and a new set of laps to try to knock off that young man, Mr. Dustin Hennigan.
One of the crowd favorites, Cedar Lake, will be next week, so that'll be a great one for Dustin to try to go for a 3-peat. Can't wait to talk to him just in a little bit here. I'm going to run down that finishing order, at least the top 10 anyways. For you guys watching right now, we got Dustin Hennigan, as you just heard, won the race over Dylan Simmons, 3/100ths of a second, just by a nose. Swede Milgard in third. Jackie Whaley comes in fourth. Wade Burris in fifth. Justin Simmons falls in sixth. Jeremy Vaughn seventh. Mr. Gunnels, OJ, eighth place. Ninth will go to Austin Yates. 10th will be Dane Lloyd.
Yes, 11th will go to Kenny Haight. 12th is going to go to David Termashy. And then 13th, 14th, and 15th, they did not take the grid, but they will fall in. Lester in 13th, Cody Heathcock 14th, and Clifford Bellamy in 15th, rounding out your field tonight. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take you to the Full Send Gaming post-race podium show, where we are going to pull in our podium finishers for tonight's event.
Yeah, so third place will be Swede Melgard here. Just got him in here. So we got a copy, man.
Yes, sir.
Pretty excellent race there overall. Just looked like the car kind of fell off there toward the end. What was your thoughts on that race, man?
It was a good race. It was hard to know which setup to go with because we didn't have a lot of cars, and it didn't get as slick as we thought it was going to get. So we didn't know what. I don't know. It was just a crapshoot. I think we were on the wrong gear.
Wrong gear. Yeah, it looked like you were searching a little bit there. Early on, though, you that first restart of the race, you were gifted a lot of extra space, and I'm sure you would love to see that thing go green the rest of the way. Then you had that second restart there, and from there, so the car was just, it looked like it was just, a little bit slower there on the long run, I guess, with that gearing setup and how everything, I could see why it did fall off a little bit, but outside of that, though, like what was the plan for you if the track were to have 15 or 20 cars on it?
I think it would have been a lot better for me with the way we went, but it didn't go that way. That's the fun of it, trying to figure out what's going to happen. Dustin was fast; he's always fast, so he's going to be hard to beat. Yeah, I wish it would have went green. They were laying back on that start, so I went a little early because I think they were going to try to run up on me. But it was a good race, like I said. It was fun. Car was fast. And I knew when it was fast early that it wasn't going to be good enough at the end. So it was kind of like hold on and see what happens.
Yeah, I tell you what, you did a hell of a job holding on. You were talking about that restart. It's as well as I do that up here we get the same camera angles as watching a replay sometimes at distance, and if we during the broadcast we didn't know, we're like, man, did he jump that start on that or what happened? And that's Jeremy went back and watched it, and they held back. That's exactly what it looked like they were doing. So it was a good call. It was just an unfortunate thing that that caution come out. Not very many cautions tonight, but just the wrong place at the wrong time there. Do you feel like when you were coming into this one here, you were talking about that you were fast at the start. If that last caution hadn't come out, do you feel that the outcome of this race could have potentially been different with the gap that you had on that restart?
It might have been. You never know. I guess Dustin, like I said, he is so fast, and he might have ran me down. Being out front like that, and they had the advantage of trying to find the line that's faster, and then you're stuck kind of waiting and reacting. So I couldn't search until he passed me. Then I started searching around trying to figure out what my car wanted, and it was just a little off, honestly. I think Dylan might have had the fastest car at the end of the race there. We just got lucky that the laps ran out. We were able to get 2 out of 3 for our team.
Yeah, that is very true. And talking about your team, you were talking about none other than Hot Lap Heroes there. And I would agree by the looks of it. It almost looked like Simmons might have had that. He gave it a hell of an effort there at the tail end, but everything just kind of fell into play with how it is. Now, with that, I do know that you guys at Hot Lap Heroes, you guys have been on a rail here as of lately. What is going on out of the shop over there at Hot Lap?
Just a lot of laps and a lot of practice, and we have a really good group of guys, and we take it semi-serious. It's not our life. iRacing isn't. It's more of a release, and most of us are older. Dylan's a young guy, and Dustin's a young guy, and he's the fastest by far. We all help each other and just work on setups, man, and get better. I think I started off on a couple out the gate, and then now nobody can beat Dustin all of a sudden. So we got to work on that a little bit. Maybe give him an EOL or something.
I'm sure the rest of the field probably would not disagree with that. You might have one person that probably would not agree with it, being Dustin himself. But either way, man, I mean, you ran a hell of a race. You led a lot of laps there. Like you said, the gearing was just off a little bit, but you still held on to finish in that podium position, which is always great because we always enjoy interviewing you. We haven't had the chance to do it as of the last few weeks, but damn glad that we were able to do it tonight. So again, this is your moment. This is your time. I know you got some people out there you want to give thanks to and some sponsors you want to shout out to.
Absolutely. First and foremost, my wife and daughter for putting up with the racing and the time I spend on this. They get to watch the broadcast back. So thank you guys. And we miss you the last couple of weeks, but it's fun to have you back and be back up here for an interview. My teammates over at Hot Lap Heroes, all the guys we race with each night, makes it fun, makes it enjoyable, especially Garrett. I didn't listen to Garrett tonight. He told me to run a different gear, and I listened to Dustin, and I don't know. I should have went with Garrett, I guess. We'll never know. But, yeah, just Kenny for the league and you guys for the broadcast and everybody here that participates in the league weekly. It's fun.
We appreciate that. And like I said, we're here and we do it for you guys. You guys are the ones that put on the show. We just kind of put some graphics on the screen to make things look pretty. You guys do all the work. So again, congratulations on your third place finish. It was a hell of a run. I definitely look forward to see what you guys can't pull out with Cedar Lake next week. So should be a damn good race next week.
Yeah, it'll be a good one.
All right. And again, congratulations on your third place finish, buddy.
Thanks, fellas.
That is your third place finisher for the Mini Motorsport Doors 35, Mr. Swede Melgard. Been a while since we've been able to interview him, Jeremy, so it was good to see him up in the booth. And now we have somebody who I don't think we have had the pleasure of interviewing, Jeremy. That 111 of Dylan Simmons. I don't believe we've had him in the booth at all.
Well, tonight's the night. So we got him here now. Dylan, you got a copy, man?
Yes, sir.
3/100ths of a second, just the nose clip to claim a bounty that Dustin currently has on him, and came oh so close, man. Run us through those final few laps.
Oh, man. My car, I had it set up where it would get better as the race went on, and it did. And I was putting pressure on him there at the end. 1 and 2, I was a lot better than him, you know. He was running the high line. I was running right below him. And but 3 and 4, he was running a slider line and could pull on me, but I'd get a run coming off the corner. And I knew the last lap I was just going to have to throw it in there and hope he's messed up a little bit. He actually messed up in 1 and 2, and that's how I got beside him to begin with. And I just couldn't pull it off.
Yeah, I noticed your car like flipped the switch about a little bit over halfway through, and you just started coming on quick, and Sweet fell off a little bit, and then you got to his bumper quite a few times, and I'm sure if you had a few laps back that you would maybe try something a little different on him. But yeah, that NFG Motorsports car was pretty stout. I think Dustin was trying to run that high line just a little too much, gave you a little bit of some chances there. What would you have done differently to maybe try to take that top spot?
I should have followed him more in 3 and 4. On the white flag lap, I followed him through 3 and 4 and was able to stick with him, which is what helped me be right there at the end on the checkered flag lap. But, you know, I should have started doing that about 5 laps sooner, and I might could have tried to throw a slider on him in 1 and 2 or something like that, you know. But really, it was just hope he messed up, and he's good, so he's not going to mess up much.
Yeah, it's and that's an understatement. I mean, the kid does have a lot of skill. I mean, it's very apparent. But I tell you what, I mean, you go back and watch that replay. You look at some of those last laps, which I'm pretty sure you will. He was putting a lot of wheel in that. Those wheels were turned left pretty hard on that high line, and it looked like he was struggling. It was so close, I couldn't even call it when it hit the line. The name didn't even come out. I couldn't say Dustin or Dylan, one of the two, because it was that close on the angle that we had. With that being said, do you feel that going into Cedar Lake, now Cedar Lake is a track that could be more of a driver's track going in, can you bring the same speed that you had tonight to see if you can't possibly claim that now $20 bounty come next week?
You know, this race gives me a lot of confidence that I can actually run with him and maybe be able to beat him. But Cedar Lake, I hadn't had too good a luck there. You know, you got to run, when it gets slicked off, you got to run right next to the wall. and if you mess up just a little bit, you're going over the wall. So, I got to practice some this week and see if I can do a little better than I usually do up there.
Practice makes perfect on that one there. You were talking about you had already, made a couple comments on what you should have done differently when you were following Dustin there in the final laps. Do you feel that the race that you and Melgard had, because you guys had a hell of a race there for a number of laps side by side, do you feel that possibly altered your timing getting up there and working on the back bumper of Hennigan towards the end of that race?
Not really. With them two actually started racing a lot, and that's what allowed me to catch them. They were throwing sliders on each other, and I was just praying for I didn't want to see that last caution to let people catch up, but yeah, them racing each other and then that caution helped me out a lot in the long run. But I try to race them guys clean, and get around them without getting into them, and I don't think it hindered me too much. I was right there with him at the end. Like I said, I should have just followed him more in 3 and 4, and I think I could have probably got around him.
Yeah, hindsight is 20/20 for sure, especially when it comes to racing. Woulda, shoulda, coulda, but I tell you what, man, you raced a hell of a race. You put on a hell of a comeback there towards the end to put yourself 3/100ths of a second out of that top spot. And I tell you what, it was an amazing thing to see. And not only that, you split up 2 hot lap heroes. You 3 cars were the class of the field tonight there towards the later stages. So you guys had your cars set up right. And either way, it was well deserved. So definitely look forward to seeing what you can't do here in the coming weeks. Because I tell you what, you say that you boosted your confidence. You also invigorated the attention of the broadcasters as well, especially after that finish tonight. But again, that is for the future. We have a number of racing weeks left in this season. We're talking about tonight. So this is your moment. That was a hard-fought second place. Damn near got the win. Your moment, your time to shine. Who do you want to say thanks to? What sponsors you want to shout out to?
Got to give a shout out to A&E Computer Solutions, Wade Burris with WB Creative for all the wraps and everything. All my teammates at NFG for all the help. Jackie, he really helps a lot. Anytime I have a question, he'll tell me what I need to do or what I should do or what I shouldn't do. And thank y'all for the broadcast and Kenny for the league.
And we thank you for showing up and doing what you do best, which obviously is put on a hell of a show. So again, congratulations on your second place finish in tonight's Mini Motorsport Doors 35. And we look forward to seeing what you can't do next week at Cedar Lake.
Thank you.
That is your second place finisher, your runner up by 3/1,000ths of a second. Thousandths or hundreds?
Hundreds.
3/100ths of a second. Either way, it was close as hell coming down to that finish, but beat out by 3/100ths of a second by the next gentleman that we will be talking to. A gentleman that had a bounty coming into this event, still has a bounty coming out of it going into next week, talking about none other than Mr. Dustin Hennigan.
And Dustin is here in the booth with us. Man, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Back-to-back weeks, victory is on your side. You're coming through as a really strong threat the first 3 or 4 weeks of being over the limit here. Man, that pressure that Dustin gave you at the or that Dylan gave you rather at the end of the race there, that was quite something there. Did you feel like you had it, or did the car just play out right and you ran the right lines?
Felt like he was faster in 1 and 2. I felt fast in 3 and 4. I really didn't know where to go in 1 and 2. I knew it was on the top or maybe below the top right there. And 3 and 4, the slider line. But my car didn't feel really good in 1 and 2 on the top.
Yeah, I can tell in 3 and 4 you were definitely had a little bit more steam in that car for sure. I want to go to the Full Send Gaming bounty system. I don't know if you've been in on this or not, since you'll have only been here for a select amount of weeks, but you had one on you tonight. If Dylan had 3 more hundredths of a second in his car on that straightaway, he would have claimed $15 off your car, and it's going to be $20 next week. So I don't know if that's got any pressure to you for being so new with these guys here over the limit. But how do you feel that they got $20 on you next week?
Just gonna run it like a normal race. Not worry about the money. Just try to keep winning.
And that's the best way to look at it. Like I said, I mean, you don't have to worry about anything as long as you keep doing what you're doing. They're not going to claim that bounty at all. So it's excellent run. With everything that was going on, I know that that stable of drivers over at Hot Lap Heroes, you guys have been on a rail lately. And I asked Melgard the exact same thing with it. Says you guys been working on a lot of setups and everything else, and they're pegging you down as probably the fastest one coming out of those stables as of late. So they're even talking about stepping up their game. With a lot of the drivers now really starting to focus on you to try to match your speed and to try to beat you. What are your plans for the future on that to try to counteract what they're going to be doing right now?
Just gonna keep running. They've been helping me with the setups. I've been helping them, and they make some good setups.
And they obviously do, and you obviously know how to run those setups and run them very well, which is excellent. With that, I know that we are still working towards halfway into this racing season. What are your expectations right now? I know that you say you're just going for wins. But at some point in time, you got to start thinking points on that. What are your expectations with the way that this season has been going for you so far with the championship points?
Yeah, I joined pretty late in the league. I think the first 2 weeks I didn't make, or first week, trying to get back up there in the points with the races I missed. And I keep looking. I think I might be 8th in points, but trying to get up there with them.
And I tell you, that's an excellent goal. And as long as you keep going the route that you are going to make it up there in no time. It's definitely going to make for a damn good race, championship race down to the end of the season. But either way, you held off hard charges from your teammate Melgard. You have held off a damn hard charge on that last lap from Dylan Simmons to come out the victor again by 3/100ths of a second. So this is your time to shine. You earned this victory. Well deserved on top of that. Is there anybody out there you'd like to shout out to? Anybody you'd like to give thanks to?
Yeah, I want to thank everyone at Hot Lap Heroes, Lane Smith at 1-3 Designs for the wrap, and then Marco Mitchell looking out for the hot moms out there, single.
Excellent. Excellent. I will have to say that that's definitely probably one of the best segments right there that I have heard. So I tell you what, man, it's for your age, man, you've got a lot of skill. You're fun to watch out there, and I definitely think that you bring the excitement up, and you bring the skill level of all the drivers around you up as well, and it just makes for an even better broadcast. So again, congratulations on your win this week. We look forward to seeing what you can't do come next Tuesday in the Mini Motorsport Doors Pro Late Model Series at Cedar Lake and the Nerditudes Street Stock Series at Cedar Lake next week.
Thank you.
And that is your A-Main winner of the Mini Motorsport Doors 35. Mr. Dustin Hennigan again came into this race, Jeremy, with a bounty and is leaving with a bigger bounty.
Just off that interview right there, I don't think he even knows about it. I don't think he even cares about it, to be honest. He just said he's going to go out there and win. That's the best thing you can do, right? Until when you got a bounty like that, the only thing you can do is beat everybody else, so no one can claim it. So that kid's so humble. Doesn't matter, his excitement. He's won back to back. I'd be thrilled, right? A lot of these people talk about being thrilled, getting top threes, this and that. he's going back-to-back wins, and he's just, very, very chill personality, and that actually can be beneficial too, right? Because if you keep a nice even head on them shoulders, and you're going to go a long way with that kind of personality and that mentality. In a racing season where you're in a short track, tempers might flare up over time, and at that case, I don't know. Keep an eye out on him for sure.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, as humble as what he is. I mean, I'm like you, Jeremy. I would have had excitement in my voice and everything else, but I get giddy like a schoolgirl sometimes. So, I mean, that's just what it is. But, I mean, he just, for a 14-year-old kid, man, he just even-toned, just even-keeled, just, taking it one step at a time and, keeps it simple. Hey, I'm going for wins. As long as I'm doing that, nobody's going to finish higher than me. So it's an excellent goal, very simple. So it's going to be good. I think it's going to be a good season as long as the racing keeps going on the way that it is. I think the drivers are going to be happy with it. I think the league admins and owners are going to be happy with it. I could tell you I'm going to be happy with it, Jeremy, when it comes down to it, for both the pro lates and the street stocks. Definitely going to be a good one. And I have a feeling our sponsors are going to be thrilled with it as well, Jeremy. Speaking of sponsors, it's a perfect time to give a shout out again. I know that we have seen it, but we love to give our sponsors their due credit when it comes to you guys watching, because without the sponsors, without their support, a lot of the stuff that you see happening or you see taking place would not be able to happen. So again, we do love giving them their credit because they're not the ones on the track looking pretty in those sharp-ass looking cars. They're behind the scenes, much like a lot of the admins and everything else. So this is the only way they get their credit. So again, Martin Sports, take a look at it. They have some badass apparel all the way around. The official apparel provider of Nerditudes and Nerd TV. That product line will be coming at you live in the very near future once everything is finalized with that. And by finalized, I mean that Jeremy, the boss man, gives the okay that it's all good to go. But again, take a look at, see what they have. That's martinsports906.com. Also want to give a shout out to Mini Motorsport Doors. Again, novelty aluminum door panels, miniature size, 11 inches and 21 inches at $15 and $30 a piece. Get them customized however you want with whatever you want. Keep it PG-13, no XXX anything on there. But these things are amazing looking. They are high quality. They are issued to the champions. And actually, I believe they're issued to the top 3. They might be issued to the top 3. We have to confirm that with the admins, but I do believe it is possibly the top 3 podium finishers for the season are issued one of these awesome novelty doors. So check them out, see what they have to offer. That's Mini Motorsport Doors. Find them on Facebook at Mini Motorsport Doors.
And then we have what we've talked about quite a few times tonight with the Folsom Gaming bounty system here. Folsom Gaming is the sponsor of that system. Those guys, they like to play games like the nerds do, as I mentioned earlier on, and they like the game. They like to broadcast it, show everybody what they got. Plethora of games that they're currently working on behind the scenes at the moment. They'll be live for you guys. But yeah, they're part of that bounty system. The Dustin's got $20 to try to hold off next week for you guys. And then also Butt Kicker, that D-Box style realism to your computer chair at home. So if you're playing iRacing on the dirt, you can feel the bumps and the sounds and everything coming from underneath your seat, kind of simulating real life to the closest that they can do it for you. 20% off, corrected that this time, 20% off code with Nerd TV at checkout. Go check them out. That'd be buttkicker.com.
So, and again, there is a number of other sponsors that we are working on getting their time in the light as well. Hideaway Motorsports, competitive setups and coaching. Fantastic group of setup makers over there. They make top quality setups at a very reasonable price. So take a look at them. They also coach you on how to run those setups. So that's hideawaymotorsports.com. A number of other affiliates, links, and sponsors that we do have. We are working on trying to get all that from the league admins as well. We want to mention affiliation with G2A, with Kingwin, as well as Rogue Energy. So again, keep following us on the streams here. We will, the second that we do have that information, we will get it to you guys as well so that you guys can benefit from it as well from some of the stuff that they do offer with affiliation with Over the Limit. But with that, Jeremy, it is due time for us to say goodnight, farewell. But again, we want to give one final thank you to everybody out there tonight. We appreciate you guys out there watching it, whether it's live, whether you're watching it on a replay. We appreciate your thoughts. We appreciate your comments, your feedbacks. We love your subscriptions. We love your follows. Again, we love your likes. Be sure you keep doing that. The more that you guys help us grow, the more we're going to grow, and the more we're going to be able to bring you. So again, thank you guys from everybody here at Nerditudes and Nerd TV. To everybody out there, we thank you very much. On behalf of the legend, the myth, the man, Mr. J. Stan, Jeremy Stanley, down below me, and myself, Dustin Ballistic Logston, like to wish you guys a happy Veterans Day. Be sure you thank a vet out there. We are here doing what we love tonight because they are out there doing the unthinkable. So again, thank a vet for everything that you have and you are able to do. So again, enjoy your Veterans Day. Enjoy that holiday. We look forward to seeing you guys next week for the Mini Motorsport Doors Pro Lates and the Nerditudes Street Stocks at Cedar Lake. So on behalf of Nerditudes and Nerd TV, stay safe out there. Have a safe Veterans Day. We're going to catch you guys at the next track.